just talking about Noller. She's been doing a fantastic job filling in that position at first base whenever Cagle is in the circle. But like I said, great stretch because there was a lot of speed there.
Barber first pitch swing, and Loleo on the backhand. All she can do is knock it down. That was a really tough play. And State's got their opening base runner.
Taking a quick look at this lineup.
Now batting right
this
fielder,
Mississippi State
6,
team,
Paige
they've had
Cook.
some success, but you're going to see it more towards the 2, 3, 4, 5 hole. So kind of in that middle, but right there, Blaine, she's going to be the hitter to watch out for. Behind the plate, in the box, it doesn't matter. Anywhere near home plate, you got to watch out for her.
They will go up against one of the nation's best here on a few days of rest, unanticipated, but it makes her even better. It's Valerie Cagle, 8 1/3 thus far in the tournament. She's got 5 strikeouts and has given up absolutely nothing. Cook tried to sit back on that one. Cook, along with the rest of this Mississippi State team, in a real rhythm coming into Puerto Vallarta. Paige hitting over 400, slugging near 900. A 6-0 start for the Bulldogs, in which they have done just about nothing but dominate their opponents. Peel down, nothing doing. Closest it was one of the games against Louisiana, a 2-1 win, but it was also a 9-1 victory against a top 25 foe. Samantha Ricketts' team is playing some exceptional softball. See if she went around. Took a good hold to make. And on the back end, doing the work. Productive. It'll be up to Jessie Blaine to try and get things rolling here for Mississippi State.
Jessie Blaine.
Defense here behind Cagle. Oda, Clark, and Garcia is the outfield from left to right. Infield that same direction. Brown, Logoleo, Moore, and Noller. The battery is Vieira and Cagle. Now comes home with straight velo.
Yeah, with Cagle's battery being charged after the unexpected day off, you bet she's going to come in feeling fresh, feeling fired up, legs feeling good, arm feeling good. You're going to see some high velos from her. Not too often that you get a day off in that preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been about like 48 hours, right, since we played our last softball game. And
pretty much.
All of a sudden, get a chance to recharge. And she's coming off a Wonder Woman first showing here in Puerto Vallarta. She did absolutely everything. Was incredible in the circle, had a home run in her first at bat here at Nancy Almaraz Field, and then made a really nice running play over at first base. Don't allow it to become routine. Everything she does is exceptional, even if it's nearly every time she comes onto the field. Tried a couple in the dirt, and so far the patience by the Bulldogs has been a big thing this year. Jessie Blaine runs it full. Cagle's payoff. Hit well, and it's down the line and by Brown. Barbary will hold at third. That's great work by Oda, as experienced as it gets out in left. and saving a run.
And you can tell she had it going home, but I think this field, as good of a job as it was done, it's still pretty soft, and you can see her knee kind of shaking up, might have tweaked it as she was running across. You can see her pointing to a spot on the field.
Yeah.
Whenever you're running and there's mud, yeah, you can see that spot in the bottom right-hand corner. Whenever you're running and the field's wet and that mud's a little sticky, it sticks to the bottom of your cleats and it's almost completely covers it. You have no traction, and things can get pretty slippery, especially whenever you're trying to round sharp corners hard.
Brownlee sends it right back that way. Across the diamond is Brown to nowhere for the final out. So Mississippi State nearly on the board, and they threaten Cagle, but that's all. She's coming up with the bat next.
Mississippi State across the outfield. In left 12, Briley St. Clair. In center field, 29, Sierra Sacco. In right field, you have 6, Paige Cook. Across the infield and third base. Number 10, Nadia Barbary. And shortstop today, 67, Kylie Edwards. At second base, 47, Salem Hawkins. And at first today, number 18, Madison Kennedy.
And so Mississippi State takes the field for the first time. They do so behind Aspen Wesley. Been the opening day starter for the last 3 years for the Bulldogs. She tends to get going early and often for Sam Ricketts' team. She goes once again here, 2-0 in her 10 innings pitched. She has struck out 9, walking just 1. That is the only walk that this entire Mississippi State pitching staff has given up. However, this is the best lineup they've played by a lot. There is so much talent in that opening 9 for the Tigers.
Leading it off, center fielder Mackenzie Clark.
Mackenzie Clark was having a rough day at the office until she wasn't. Launched one. But Nancy Amada's field was not big enough to contain. 1 hit, 3 RBI, and a home run thus far on the tournament for Mackenzie Clark. And now a 2-0 count.
I mean, we talked about whenever you're due. It doesn't matter the situation. It doesn't matter anything, really. And she was due.
Right now, this is the Mackenzie Clark that we've seen for the majority of her career.
And that's the best thing about softball is you could be struggling and then you get that 1 hit and all of a sudden you're right back in the middle of the game. You're right back in your groove and you feel like yourself again.
That's how you know there is a lot of trust in Mackenzie Clark. A green light on 3-0. Spark plug for the Tigers. Sends that one up and foul from 3-0 to 3-2 for Wesley.
Aggression has been the name of the game so far these first 2 weeks. Seen a lot of teams pushing the envelope, base running, pushing the envelope offensively, trying to mix things up with their pitchers. It's been a mix and mesh and a beautiful mold of these teams trying to come out and prove themselves, trying to get these big wins, because there's been some great competition, really good upsets, really tight games. You got to do everything you can, not just in the 7th inning, but all throughout the game to get the advantage.
Sent to center where it holds up just long enough for Sierra Sacco and out number 1.
Now batting.
It's in Alex Brown.
25.
Closed that last inning defensively over at third. Sierra making that grab in center was the opening hitter of the game. Got going real quick. Everybody wanting to get started. That's a huge addition for Mississippi State coming from Ruston and Louisiana Tech. In for a strike. Chopped up, fielding her position well is Wesley. Kennedy helps a friend. Defense strong for the Bulldogs in their debut.
Kennedy, big time, being able to hang on to that. You can see Wesley bobbled it for half a second, and then just a little panic, but she throws it hard over to her first baseman. And Kennedy, she's able to grab onto that one. That was a nice snag.
Biggest test yet. Cagle on a hop. Edwards across the diamond. There's a reason that Aspen Wesley continues to get the ball on opening days for Mississippi State. Tenured, veteran, composed. Zeros on the board.
With 4 decades of experience in producing only the best in the world of destination events, Triple Crown Sports wants to help you and your family get the most out of your investment in youth athletics. Whether it's giving young players a chance to compete against teams from around the country, or giving older athletes a chance to hone their skills with a college game, we have the tournament your family will never forget. Check out TripleCrownSports.com.
Back we come, both teams flashing the leather even after our long layoff. And so we go to the top of the second, all even at 0. State will bring up 6, 7, and 8 here to face Cagle in round 2. Fans finally getting to enjoy some sunshine. It was a downright downpour yesterday. So now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming in Puerto Vallarta weather. Cagle's first to Hawkins in the dirt. Cagle and Clemson at least got a chance to enjoy the pool on Tuesday. They were here earlier than just about everybody because they were scheduled to play on that first day, Wednesday. And it's an early exit from Florida to Mexico, but they got to enjoy some sun. State came straight to the bad weather. Now, a chance to get some vitamin D. That's a 4-pitch walk. Sam Hawkins at first base, a leadoff base runner.
Now batting first base, 18, Madison
And
Kennedy.
we talked about this last inning, but discipline at the plate. Mississippi State, they've showed that through Cagle. They were able to get 5 batters through, all 5 of them There weren't a lot of swings and misses. There was contact. Maybe it wasn't extremely hard, but they were making contact. And Cagle, she's known for getting a lot of swings and misses, high strikeout numbers. And I think that was due to Mississippi State being patient at the plate, making Cagle throw pitches over the plate. And whenever you prepare well, you know what's coming.
Madison Kennedy will be as happy as anybody in the softball world right now. Her team is 6-0. She's hitting over 300, and she just got engaged. A wonderful time of the year for Madison Kennedy.
We saw Mississippi State that last inning. They had a runner at third. Looked like she was going to score. Kind of slipped as she was rounding and wasn't quite able to get that first run across, but they were putting pressure on it early. They were making Clemson make defensive plays, and whenever they weren't making the defensive plays, they were being smart at the plate, taking those pitches. That's what you want to see early on, especially whenever Cagle doesn't look to be quite in her groove just yet.
To your point, 3-1. In 19 innings of work, Valerie's only walked 2. And yet now, after a walk, it's another 3-ball count. And might have gotten some help there.
Yeah, she would have gotten help there on that one, big time. You want to be a little picky on that one, but Cagle spin, it's hard to hold up sometimes on those pitches. Looks really good, especially if you're looking for that inside pitch.
Comes at you like lightning. Kennedy sat on that one, drives it to center field. Madison Kennedy goes yard. Her second home run already this year, and the Bulldogs continue their incredible start.
Kennedy, she has just been on point. Made that great snag over at first defensively and comes up big. This pitch is over the plate and she takes it deep. A monster home run up center field. Got engaged, got some great plays, got a great hit. Team's doing good, she's feeling good. Man, you want to be her right now.
No doubt. Tremendous vibes for Madison Kennedy, one of the best home run hitters in the history of Mississippi State softball. Adds a 2-run shot against the reigning player of the year. Cagle, however, bounces back. Kylie Edwards up and down to Briley St. Clair.
Mississippi State wanted to come out, wanted to make that big crushing impact, and they did. Drawing that walk, making that a 2-run home run instead of 1. Cagle's going to respond to that. She's going to get a little sharper. She's going to want to be able to hit her spots. She's competitive, and mentally she's going to zone in. And that was great that Mississippi State took advantage before she got to that point, and they were able to get 2 across.
When we caught up with Coach Rittman this week, I asked him, how do you even coach Valerie at this point when she achieves such a high level? And said, we still need to work on dealing with failure when it comes. Doesn't happen a lot for Valerie Cagle, but when you go up against teams like this, it's not always going to be perfect. And she continues to hone that bounce back ability. So far, so good after the home run, but Briley St. Clair does have some count. And St. Clair, the third 3-ball count here in the second inning.
If you're in the Mississippi State dugout, you're saying, wait on that pitch, be patient, make her come to you. Don't chase after her stuff, she's got to come to you.
St. Clair does not follow the sage-like advice of Nicole Mendez and is accordingly the second out.
Top of the order for Mississippi State.
Sage
Now
like
batting.
advice makes me feel like I should be
Center
stroking a nice
fielder,
long
number
white
29,
beard.
Sierra Sacco.
That's the vibe you want to present. That's a you choice. The knowledge comes regardless. Here's Sierra Sacco. Once again, a first pitch ball for Cagle. Dead even, strikes the ball, 17-17. Tremendously uncharacteristic. But if you're Clemson, this is almost what you want in a way. You don't want to be losing on the scoreboard, but you like some adversity for that forged by fire approach. Galileo makes the play. Still a 2-run home run. Madison Kennedy engaged in this ball game, her team by 2. In between innings, you saw one of the coolest parts of this tournament. Clemson running their laps down the line, JoJo Hyatt stretching it out along with Riley Burton. And right as they get to the fence, they just dap up some of the kids from the community here in Puerto Vallarta. They're just sitting around watching the game. Spreading softball is one of the core missions of this tournament. It's great for the players, it's great for the community, and it's just a lot of fun for us to watch. Julia Noller off to a scorching start, but that is well played by Wesley.
Mississippi State has gone through some struggles these past few years. Just being able to maintain consistency, I think, has been the toughest position for them. Obviously, they're a good team. They battle. They're in the SEC conference. They're going to get those good games. But being able to maintain that consistency is what they have been lacking. And I think for them, that's what you're going to want to hone on. That's what you're going to focus on this season, especially early on when you're facing out-of-conference teams.
They've got a pretty clear fire burning at the core after their names were not called on Selection Sunday. A bubble team left out of the NCAA tournament. They remember that feeling, and they have no interest in repeating it. Nasty up top, down swinging is Noller.
That sequence setup was dirty. Noller, even though she's a freshman, she is a tough out to get. And so being able to work the pitches that were out in the zone, then coming back up and then ending it with that off speed, that was a great setup.
Mississippi State has a not-so-secret weapon now calling the pitches. Jeremiah McKinney taking over as the new pitching coach. One of the genuine elite off it all-time Women's College World Series run. Did it with Arizona, now doing it in Starkville and making a huge difference. The numbers are truly eye-popping for the Bulldogs in the circle.
And that off speed is going to be a problem for Clemson. Wesley, she's gotten the swings and misses. She's gotten the looks. She even just got the check swing.
That one fouled up and out. The most unique thing, back when it was Miss Tara Mowat in her run in that WCWS, threw over 1,000 pitches en route to the title for Mike Candrea and company. That is old school as it gets, but unbelievably impressive. And now to be able to impart that wisdom, it's clearly paying off for Mississippi State. Flare to right, not quite. It holds up just long enough. Cook makes the grab. Aaliyah Longoleo trying to extend the frame.
It's the shortstop, number 6, Aaliyah Longoleo.
Normally I would call that last hit a flare and not correct myself, but that would defy the wisdom of a flare always works, so I had to change course midway there.
Of Wesley and what she's been doing so far to this Clemson team of mixing and matching, but also the sequencing of her pitches. It's great to have a really good pitcher. It helps things out a lot. But if the pitcher's not the one calling it, you want to have a coach who has that knowledge. And like you said, over 1,000 pitches under Mike Candrea, being able to have that experience and being able to have that wisdom with the pitch calling, it just enhances whatever your pitcher has. And so from a coach's perspective, being able to know what your pitcher has to offer and know how to mix and match so that their specific stuff is going to benefit them, and it's not, oh, this pitch works for everyone. That's elite right there.
Now, everything's working for Aspen Wesley. 2 strikeouts in the frame. Untouchable against one of the nation's top offenses. Mississippi State cruising.
Today's event live, along with all other FloSoftball events for the rest of the season. Visit FloSoftball.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOSoftball.tv.
Right now, everything looking a shade of maroon with an inning and a half complete. Mississippi State impressing in their opening few minutes here in Puerto Vallarta.
Here in the third.
And they get to the work. Nadia Barbary leading things off here in the top of the third. Just enough off from Cagle, but that was wildly effective.
But Cagle took it from Mississippi State and said, you know what, Wesley's been tossing that off speed a lot. Why don't I give it a go, see what that looks like back to back.
On a hop, Galeo has been busy and up to the task.
Right fielder number 6.
Round 2 for Paige Cook.
Mississippi State's 8th ground ball in 3 innings. And really, the 3rd inning just started.
The only ball that was really in the air was off the bat of Madison Kennedy, and it found its way beyond the fence. Couple C&I singles and a walk, the remainder of the offense, but so far so good. Bulldogs up by 2. Elevating there, that one caught some air and it gets all the way to the corner. Paige Cook takes the wide turn. Paige Cook, a 1-out double. Her second 2-bagger.
Cook is cooking, since you like to use all those
There you go.
fun little words there. That one driven nice. She was a little early, but the way that she extended through the ball, because it was on the inside half of the plate, the way she extended through the ball, not trying to come off it, not trying to pull it too hard, that's what kept that ball fair and gets her on second base.
Top slugger for the Dogs a year ago, certainly has a power stroke, and she shows it pretty much immediately here in Puerto Vallarta. Cagle on her horse. Still productive.
In each of these 3 innings, Mississippi State has had a runner in scoring position, or they've scored their runner when they've been at first with that home run. But they've been putting pressure, and it's happened really quickly. It wouldn't say that it's a hard hit, and that's what moves the runners around. But they're just consistent with getting balls put in play.
Don't see that a lot from Cagle. Throw home is in time. Just how Valerie drew it up. A big hop off the fence. Vieira and Cagle get the final out. Mississippi State threatens, gets a little unlucky. Take another look at how it ended. That ball sails all the way to the fence. Paige Cook trying to slide in under the Kegel tag. Mallory clearly got her.
That was a great replay by our team. You can see Kegel, she knew as soon as she got that ball, it was gonna be a close play, and she was able to lay down that tag, get her right before that hand touched home plate.
That's one. I think Paige maybe hesitated for a split second. Hey, it's 2 outs. Do we want to risk it? Okay, let's go. And with Brownlee up, who's been so good with runners in scoring position this year, Bulldogs probably want that one back. That's Edwards, and 1 out.
Yeah, that's one of those things as a coach you never want to see your team making out at third base, but whenever you're at third base and you make the out at home on a pass ball, it kind of deflates a little bit of that momentum that you have.
Bulldogs have a chance to get some of it back, but that was just put in such a weird place, and it took a funky hop to boot. Abby Vieira at first.
I think that's Noller coming off of her position, maybe 2 steps too far. I think that is Moore's ball all the way, but whenever you're defending and somebody's in front of you, especially whenever their glove just misses that ball, sometimes in that backup position, it can be hard to tell where that ball's going.
Salyn Hawkins out there at second is a freshman, so a little learning opportunity for her as she plays along the super senior Maddie Kennedy at first. First base knock for Clemson comes in unconventional fashion. Good news for State. Wesley's still rolling and going against another freshman here in Kylie Johnson, but a very effective freshman. Already notching her first home run of her career here in Mexico.
Been so many new faces to the sport already this year. So many freshmen who we've seen have success, whether it's been in the box, been on the mound, been on defense. This is gonna be a really fun year for softball because this new talent, these fresh faces, they have a little bit of a different style of play. It feels a little bit more seasoned. It feels a little bit more game ready. They play faster, they hit harder. They're fun to watch.
Kylie Edwards had a home run on the first pitch of her college career on the other end of it for Mississippi State. So to your point, this group is absurd, and we've gotten to watch a lot of it here. Payoff pitch. Just a bit outside. And the Tigers are in business.
Top of the order for the Tigers, center fielder, Shelby McKenzie Clark.
It's an offense. You can talk about what a pitcher has. You can study, you can get ready, you can guess, oh, they're going to throw her. But until you actually face them, you don't really know. And I think Clemson, what their expectation was going into this game with Wesley, I think it was just a little off, and they had to make a couple of adjustments during the first 2 innings of getting to, okay, our bodies need to be here, our timings need to be here. We thought this pitch, no, we need to be going after those lower ones. We're missing a lot on those high, getting a lot of foul balls on the high pitch from her. Let's bring her down. Let's reel it in just a little bit back into our wheelhouse and be able to control the zone from there.
Number 1, Kennedy Aria.
Kennedy Ariel will check in over at first base. Excuse me, at second base. She's the lead runner for the hitter, Mackenzie Clark. adjustments in real time for sure. That walk is just the second one of the year for Mississippi State. They have hammered the zone. Done so real effectively to the tune of no hitters, multiple already, that caught the nub of the bat. Clark, right read. That was not an easy one to take. Again a take. This time the win belongs to Wesley. Her third K.
Talk about wanting to grab the momentum back, get it back onto your side of the field. That right there, a strikeout, off speed, looking filthy.
Kind of a half swing. That is easy for Kennedy to close the frame. The single by Abby Vieira. State bounces right back. No problems for the Bulldogs.
Back catching for Clemson, number 4, Abby Vieira. College sports evaluation is on the cutting edge of sports analytics. Founded in 2020 by Triple Crown Sports, CSC provides youth and collegiate athletes with verified censored data.
These teams spent a little more time there than they were hoping to over the course of the last couple of days, but the rain has let up, the field in great shape, and now everyone is where they're supposed to be. Still a 4-game set for you. You're on a Super Saturday in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico on FloSoftball. First pitch in the dirt. Brownlee, who was standing there when the last play happened to end it on the ball that caromed off the fence, gets a second chance. And that's why Mississippi State, in retrospect, really would have wanted to let Brownlee swing. She's been so good to start the year.
Do your job, get on base, get to second. This pitch by Cagle, not a bad one, but like you said, whenever you're a hitter and you're seeing it hot, the ability to be able to stay on that ball and extend through. We've seen it on both sides of the field, once last inning on left field, and this inning on right field, right down that line, almost foul, but it stays fair because these hitters are able to extend through. They don't get to contact and then just finish their swing. They're able to get just a little bit more extension.
Hawkins fouls off the first bunt attempt. Jaden Burney is the runner over at second. She is one of the prime choices for Sam Ricketts, who will have now run in all 7 games for the Bulldogs. Hawkins watching the ball. Samantha Ricketts in her 5th year as the head coach for Mississippi State. Picked up assistant coaching duties in Starkville at 15. So understands what this program is about and what it takes to succeed, getting them to their first super regional and highest ranking. That's a nasty change up.
It's safe to say whenever you put speed on second and you take that big aggressive lead and that catcher knows you bobble it, boom, they want to go. They're thinking about going. Anything in the dirt, they're going. That puts pressure. As an outfielder, you know there's speed on second. As soon as that ball gets hit to you, okay, I have to nail this throw, this ball. I can't waste any time running after it. I need to be able to catch it in the air. I need to be able to get it in as quick as possible. You put a lot of pressure on that defense.
That's how Cagle helps her defense out. Hawkins down swinging.
That was a nice bounce back from Cagle. Had a couple pitches in the dirt, but she's been able to reel it in and being able to ladder out her pitches to get that one on the outside. You could just see the way Hawkins wanted to go after it, but it was too far out of the zone.
First strikeout of the day for Valerie Cagle. The first home run she's allowed all year was off of this bat. Kennedy's two-run shot in the second. Even with the home run, Cagle's season-long ERA is still under 1. Which tells you how effective she's been.
And even whenever she doesn't have her best stuff, I wouldn't say today I'm feeling overwhelmed by her on the mound. Not from what we've seen her do earlier on this week. She's still very effective. She's still getting outs. She's still getting not a ton of hard hit balls. That's just how effective she is as a pitcher.
Half swing straight to Moore. It's interesting because if you watch Valerie Cagle today, she really doesn't look at all like she did a few days ago. And at least part of that's by design, right? For a pitcher like this, you have to look different on Friday than you do on Sunday. So she's utilizing a different arsenal. Mississippi State's taking advantage, but these are good reps for Cagle down the stretch.
Going back to that mental practice that she put in the offseason, being able to have the awareness as a pitcher to make those adjustments in gate.
It's a lot of up and down right now for Valerie Cagle. A few days ago, way more left and right. A lot of that absurdly fast screwball. Today it's more change drop type stuff, at least so far. That is just out of reach. Whoa. Garcia seeing the sights.
Tracked it down. Almost got close to that one, but yeah, there's a brick wall over there. Don't want to be diving headfirst into that, but look how close she came. She thought about it, but I think she double-checked herself and said, yeah, I don't think it's worth it to be diving headfirst, arms first into that.
Correct decision.
And this is the third or fourth ball in the last two batters that we've seen from Cagle. Miss that spot, miss that drop ball that she's known for. Just not able to quite get that spot where she wants it.
Brown on the hop, it gets by Noller. A funky hop. Mississippi State tacks on one more.
Taking advantage of those miscues. That's what Mississippi State did in the first. And that's what they're doing here. Again, this one an easy ground
Now
ball.
turning left field, number 12, Briley
But
St.
with the
Clair.
speed, not only at first, but also at second, I think that Brown felt a little bit of pressure, tried to overthrow it, tried to go a little bit too fast.
Yep.
Just not able to get that throw down pat.
Nola does a great job at first. There was no way she was getting that one. E5. This time, it's much more routine. More to Nola for the final out. Laquana Brownlee starts it with a double, and a bad beat closes it out. Bulldogs applying continual pressure to the top 5 Tigers. Well, a little more wind in the sails of Aspen Wesley now. She gets to work with a 3-run lead. All the teams, Session 1 and Session 2, quite possibly the best field we've had here in Puerto Vallarta. And even with the rain, it has been an exceptional tournament, and we're excited to bring you 6 more games over the course of the next 24 or so hours. Cagle watching one. And this time, Cagle plunked another leadoff base runner.
She stood firm in that box. She knew that one was going to hit her. Didn't try to bail out. You could just see, just standing firm, holds onto that, now leans in. Free base right now, that's what Clemson is needing. They're needing those base runners. They're needing to be able to put some pressure on Mississippi State. Because those bases might have had a few runners, but you didn't feel a ton of pressure from Clemson offensively. We're already in the 4th inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th. You're going to want to see some adjustment. And again, we saw from Clemson earlier on, whenever they were behind in games, they started to pull out the card. They started to do hit and runs, bunts, steals, all kinds of crazy action, and it worked for them.
Clemson, offensive change now running.
John Rittman, the head coach for the Tigers, has the lineup card out right now. Haley Whitesides will run over at first base for Cagle. Underneath that one. Whiteside's getting her first action of her career. Missed last year due to injury, didn't play the year before. Tigers hoping to move her over with the powerful Noller. But it's Aspen Wesley driving right now.
This is the part of the lineup that you really have to be careful around. You still want to go out and attack them, but you have to be mindful knowing what kind of power that they have.
That was up in the zone, and Noller continues to do what she has done. 2 on the pond for the Tigers.
That one with the 2-2 count left too much over the middle of the plate. And Noller, she's going to take every advantage. She didn't get any of those pitches that she wanted last at bat. And we saw her walk off with the K. This one, a little more over the plate, and she takes that, advances her runner 60 feet. And that's what you want to see from Clemson, those adjustments of, okay, we have those runners on. How can we move them? How can we put pressure on the defense? Now, how can we score? What do we have to do to score? Because right now, you have a runner on second, no outs. You're in a great position.
This is far and away their best scoring chance so far in the game. A potential bunt spot for Moore. Down 3, maybe not. She stands in and is underneath a riser. Maddie Moore, 5 RBI coming into this tournament. She can be a run producer, but is now quickly down. Wesley tried to get a little chase on the hands.
It's a great setup pitch so far, knowing what the strengths are for Wesley. She's gone up in the zone. She's gone in on the hand. She sped him up, sped him up. You know that change is eventually going to come in.
Tried it there.
That one almost ran into her hands, leaking in. If you see a little bit more drop instead of in movement. We're just seeing a swing and miss.
Rising in tight. Aspen's 4th K, the biggest yet.
This one, that low rise, it starts at the belt buckle and ends at the letters. It's a great pitch. Don't swing at it, it's probably still called a strike, and that one is firm.
And Leo lays down the bunt. Thought Moore might. Instead, it's Leo trying to move these runners over.
This is a great opportunity for a hit and run. Get your runner at first to be on the move in case it's a ground ball up the middle. They can block up the second play, the double play. But you take the guessing game out of, do I swing, do I not swing? Make your hitters make a decision, make them feel like they have no choice. Okay, no matter where it's at, I'm gonna make contact.
Galeo bunt right up a shoot, the dive, and it just squirts away. Throw to third is in time. What a recovery by the Bulldogs.
And man, that is chaos right there. That was a little bit of miscommunication. So this bunt is popped up, and you can see from behind the plate, just popping up right away is Blaine, and then Kennedy comes in hard and trip over each other. The ball gets lost in the confusion. But that was a great recovery to go, okay, we didn't catch it. We're the runners. Listen to my defense. Get the lead out.
Unconventional play, but it certainly works out for Mississippi State. This group with 15 returners showing some chemistry, even the newcomers flying in well.
No harm, no foul. Got
Right,
the lead
exactly.
out.
Yeah, and frankly, they would have taken that. Not exactly how they had it in their mind, but works out quite well. That's exactly
Maybe
what
not
Coach
next
Ricketts
time,
said.
but they'll take it this
Yeah,
time.
no. Said was the issue in that opening weekend, to what extent there was one. Said they got sped up a couple times, made some mistakes. Smooth right now. That one's right up a chute and out of play.
Yeah, I thought their reaction to that play of pick it up and immediately looked at the lead base. Is she not there? Okay, I have time. Get it. It was a solid throw. Didn't feel like she was rushing too much. It was just, this is where I need to go. Let me pick it up and take it there.
Garcia just a piece.
Clemson, this inning, they've done a great job of getting runners on base. Got the runner to second, but they got an out and then they got another one. Almost looks like they might be stranded. If Mississippi State is able to get out of this unscathed, that's a huge momentum burst into their dugout.
Almost did.
That screwball is dirty. It is looking amazing from Wesley. I will say it looks like she's having trouble finding that pitch consistently.
Big one to Garcia. Swings and pops it up. Sacco underneath it for the final out. Back-to-back base runners to open it up. Aspen, Wesley, and company to close it down.
Triple Crown Sports would like to recognize and thank the Sheraton Bougainville, which has been a valued partner on Triple Crown Sports over the years. Thank you, Sheraton, and your staff for your continued hospitality during the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge. Returning to the field for the Tigers, pitcher 72, Valerie Cagle.
Whitesides came in to run for Cagle, but the reigning player of the year will re-enter. Tiger Nation looking to try and find its footing here on this second to last day in Puerto Vallarta. Cagle right back to the circle, aiming to keep this thing at 3-0. Meanwhile, the fans from Starkville having a great time. Bulldogs lead things off. This begins the third time around. Sacco, who watches ball one.
29, Sierra Sacco.
finding yourself at the top of the lineup. You're up by 3, but knowing Clemson, knowing how quickly they've scored their runs, you're gonna wanna get more. You still need to push the envelope. You still need to be doing what you're doing, because if you let your foot off the gas, that's when Clemson comes back.
No concerns there for Sacco. The La Tech transfer did everything you can in Ruston, and now has a leadoff walk for the Bulldogs to bring in Barbary. Barbary watching ball 1. Long-time Bulldog, committed as an 8th grader. She was the earliest commit in the 2022 class for head coach Sam Ricketts. There's a couple of young commits on this Bulldog roster, including Lexi Sosa, who we'll probably hear from later. Leo, long throw. Beautiful stretch by Noller.
Man, we have seen some great throws over there at shortstop. Look at this, almost in a complete split. To be able to go across the diamond, you don't have a lot of grip on the ground. It's soft, especially deep in that 5-6 hole. There's not a ton of firmness on your ground. You have to rely off that momentum and just the quickness of your release.
On both of the Barbary grounds outs, Leah Longoleo has done a really, really nice job trying to help out her pitcher, who's working through it right now. Cagle looks and delivers. Right decision for the sure out.
Even though she didn't go to third, I like how Cagle had the heads up, had the clarity of mind to go, okay, let me look and see, is there a chance that I can get this runner out? Because that would have been huge to get the runner out at third. And then once she realized, no, okay, I'm going to turn around, I have time, pop it over to first. But the ability to be able to look over, get that out, that was huge. And now they're in a great advantage with 2 outs. I think this timeout here is just to talk through what happened last at bat. It's a hard hit. Where do we want to pitch to this batter? Where do we want to go in the zone? So I think Cagle, she doesn't have her best stuff today, so it's just figuring out what works good enough to throw her off balance.
Spoiled that one outside. I think if it was most other runners, Cagle probably does go to third, but the Conference USA leader in stolen bases is the one who's 60 away. Sierra can fly, and Blaine's got a chance with 2 down. Blaine rips it into center, taking advantage of that chance. Sacco scores, Dogs by 4.
And they have been doing such a good job of just chipping away, get more and more and more runs. This one is elevated over the middle of the plate. You don't get too many of those from Cagle, and you take advantage. You say, all right, let's rip, let's go, let's drive.
And now batting, designated player number 20.
A little bit of shoulder shrug. What can I say? Drives that run in, and Mississippi State, they are looking solid.
Jessie Blaine now 6 for 8 with runners in scoring position on the young year. She has been on a ripper to start, along with her teammate in Brownlee, who hits now.
Offensive change for Mississippi State.
Sells will come in
now
and run over at first base.
Number 9, Kiara Sells.
Sells the number go-to option off the bench a year ago. #1 choice here in the 5th inning. Anytime you have a Quanah Brownlee at the plate, it's an RBI opportunity on any bag, including first.
Especially now that you have speed at first. She got a double deep down the right field line last at bat. You can see Cagle trying to tempt her with a similar pitch that she hit last time. Here's the same pitch, just a little bit down.
That one elevated enough. More on the hop, slams the door. Still, Sierra Sacco comes across thanks to Jessie Blaine, who's done nothing but bring in runners in 2024.
Mississippi State with a defensive change. Now catching number 74, Ella Wesley.
You get a look there on the practice throwdown. Ella Wesley, a big arm behind the dish. She checks in to catch for the Bulldogs, and that is straight out of a postcard. That's how it's supposed to look, not how it has the last couple of days, right there.
That's my ideal vacation. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Now batting, catcher number 4, Happy.
Why these teams are
See,
here.
though, the field's playable, but still a little soft. I think we've seen a couple of ground balls maybe before. The field was pretty dry. The bounces, the chops, they would have been a little higher. We've seen a couple of shorter, quicker chops. Made for an easier defense, that's for sure.
Sierra gets it through all that dirt. She's got back-to-back base hits.
The designated player number 3.
This one just in on the hand. She's able to get that foot down, planted firmly, and then from there, it's just letting the hands fly through that. It's a nice hard hit. That's what you want. Get the runners, get the leadoffs, move them over.
Right up the chute and just in reach for Barbary and a quick out.
Barbary did a good job of finding the fence on this one right away.
Straight to center and just over the head of Edwards. Mackenzie Clark's first hit on the ball game. We're going quick now.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. Extra insurance runs. 2 hard hit balls already this inning. That's more than they've had all game so far, all in one inning. And the ability to keep these Clemson hitters on their toes, you can only hold them off for so long, so many times through the lineup.
Brown 0 for 2, shows bunt, brings back. Mighty Cagle on deck, but one magic ground ball for Aspen Wesley. Gets out of it clean. Bunt straight to Wesley, and it sails. One hop the backstop. The Clemson Tigers are on the board. This lead is cut in half.
I think there might have been some kind of obstruction or maybe landed wrong, but Hawkins, whenever she covered the bag, she immediately fell. She didn't even reach up for that. I think that throw is well over her head, but she immediately fell down to the ground, and it looks like it might be something on her knee. See, she's trying to test it around a little bit, but she fell down pretty hard, pretty quick. And that's the second Mississippi State player that we've seen have a little bit of a scare with their knees in this soft dirt here. Yeah, you can see she slipped just a little bit.
Yeah, she reaches up, and then as she's reaching up, goes down. But fortunately, Salem Hawkins moving around fine. It's a state team that's had to deal with injuries. End of last year, had a couple players miss fall. So you hate to see it at any time, but Hawkins moving around well, so all good.
As a team that can kind of feel scary and definitely takes a little bit of the excitement away whenever a teammate kind of falls, feels like, oh gosh, did they get hurt? There's that moment of hush. You kind of hold your breath in anticipation to see, can she get up? Can she walk around? And Clemson, they just got to run across the board. They have the momentum. They are the team right now with the upper hand. So if you're Mississippi State, it's, okay, great. She's healthy. She's good. But how do we adjust from here? But I'm just glad that we're seeing Hawkins up, walking around, being able to move and stay in the game.
And so Valerie Cagle gets a chance. Representing the tying run. Watching strike one. Cagle gives it a ride, and it sits right there for Sacco, who very quickly gets it back in.
Going
back to that play, I think we talked about pitchers who are doing phenomenal, but that's pretty much all they do. And then there's the pitchers who can also field and play and defensively be able to move around. We just saw Wesley with that throw. She's been having such a great game, and just one miss throw, and that lead is cut in half, and you hate to see that for her. But I think that's such an important piece of being a pitcher. Is in this day and age, you can't be a pitcher who doesn't know how to throw the ball or can't get it over to first, because that impacts the game in a big way.
It's where the speed of Clemson and the pressure that comes with it affects the game as well, but definitely one that Wesley wants back. And she's made that throw plenty of times. This is a super senior, but that one got away. 0-2. Got her. Good bounce back from Aspen Wesley, but the damage done for the Tigers. What was once 4-0, now cut in half. Small ball leading to effect. Wesley bouncing back.
Human. Behind the stripes, our mission is to elevate the respected sport officials in every sport, at every contest, in every venue, at all levels of competition. Officially Human wishes to recognize and thank our umpiring crew today, working this very unique day of softball. And we appreciate the good sportsmanship shown towards the officials by all fans in attendance. Learn more about Officially Human at officiallyhuman.com.
Got ourselves a ball game. No big surprise, this Power 5 clash between Clemson and Mississippi State.
Leading it on for Mississippi State, 47.
This game got a little bit more interesting this last half inning. Clemson cut the lead in half. But Mississippi State, save for a couple of at-bats, they have been very consistent off of Cagle, getting ground balls, getting hits, not a lot of swings and misses, and they're very disciplined at the plate today.
Got a look there at our PA announcer here for session 2 in Puerto Vallarta. Heard the same voice at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Our friends at Triple Crown. Nothing but the best in this tournament. Even with the adverse conditions, we're still going to get 4 more in today, and then 2 tomorrow, bright and early, breakfast and softball. That's perfect in the 5-6 hole. Mogoleo, rangy as she is, has no play. Great to see Hawkins in there and getting a single.
First base, 18, Madison Kennedy.
That's what Mississippi State has been doing all day. Not overwhelming blasts, not a ton of doubles, but just well-hit, hard ground balls. Some get through, some don't, but they're very consistent, just peppering them all across the field.
That's been the game plan all year for the Dogs. Coming into play today, top 5 in the country in batting average. Get hits, get lots of them. Does good for your offense. Kennedy's 1-0. A changeup for strike 1. Hard hit, perfectly down the line. And a weird hop off the fence. Coming around and scoring is Salin Hawkins. Madison Kennedy brings in a third. What a day for the super senior.
And that's what you love to see. This pitch on that inner half, but it's elevated. That drop ball for Cagle, not where it normally is, and she's just able to rip this hard down the line. And like you said, that one, an unfortunate bounce. Sometimes whenever you have that concrete sidewall, whenever the ball hits that, as hard as that ball was off the bat, you get that ricochet that goes over the head of the left fielder. And Oda, she's chasing after it, doing the best she could, but I think she did a good job of minimizing that into just a double and getting the ball in quick enough to not turn that into a triple, because that bounced over her head pretty far.
Morgan Bernardini.
Morgan Bernardini is going to come in and run, and Clemson will make a change in the circle. Millie Thompson takes over for the Tigers. The Bulldogs have chased Cagle from the circle, and this team, off of getting snubbed last year, is on an absolute revenge tour.
Several defensive changes for Clemson. Now
Clemson will always keep Cagle in the game, so she slides over to first base, which bounces Nola, the defensive player, and Johnson out to left field. And we get another look at Millie Thompson. A couple innings thrown in this tournament. One strikeout, one walk, 4 hits and a couple of runs. She comes in, tough spot. Runner in prime position. Nobody out. Looped into center. Well read by Clark, who whips it back in.
Not just well read to be able to snag that one. That one was hit pretty hard right away. But look how quickly, as soon as she catches it, it's one step and then boom, the ball's back out of her hand, headed back towards the infield. That was a great job. I think that was the right call by Clemson to bring in Thompson. She has a little bit more speed than Cagle did today. Typically, Cagle, she's up there. She has a ton of speed. But today, I think Thompson has a little bit more speed. But because Cagle was struggling with that down pitch, getting that drop off for a strike, I think the zone's planes are going to look similar to Mississippi State.
So far, so good for Thompson. That is the way this staff was built by John Rittman and his coaching staff. The pitchers all complement each other, including Cagle, though that one got away from Noah.
Mississippi State still holding that discipline. Like you said, that's the way this staff was built. Mississippi State knew that going in. And their plan probably is going to be lay off the low, make them bring it up, especially if the umpire's not calling it. Once they do, all right, then you can be back in the game, then you can battle. But until then, don't chase after it.
Thompson. Great job to hold up. Appeal down. Garrett Knowles says no swing.
Center fielder number 29.
Mississippi State with speed on their bases. And then speed right there at the plate. Top of the lineup, 4th time through.
Whipped in for a strike. You think there's anything to, when we woke up this morning, Valerie Cagle and Clemson thought they were going to play Auburn first before playing Mississippi State? Don't know for sure, but I have to imagine Cagle would have started that game, probably prepped for that game last night. A little different, having to adjust on the fly here, as is everybody else. But Mississippi State playing their first scheduled here this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. I think so. I think whenever you're a team and you're sitting around and you're waiting, it can be hard, especially whenever you get ready, then you stop. Then you get ready, then you stop. That's hard on not just physical, but the mental as well.
I can say even from our standpoint, I got ready a couple times. Nope. Yep. Nope. Okay. But we are happy to be playing softball now. That one's in the dirt, though. Sierra, another 3-ball count, back to back.
A lot of prep to come over to my setup and sit down. Turn on the mic. Hello, hello. This thing on?
Yep. And then it's all right. See you in a couple hours.
Nice back door there by Thompson.
Thompson's payoff. In on Sacco's hands, and it gets into center field. Two straight times on base. Great addition out of the portal in Starkville.
That one, she did a good job. She took that last pitch for a strike that Thompson threw that back door right at the waist, and she knew, okay, I bailed away, had the feeling that it was going to come again. Whenever it did, she just turned on that one, being able to get through that extension. I think that's the most impressive thing, besides the discipline at the plate, that I've seen offensively for Mississippi State today.
Carberry watching one for the first strike. This feels like a game-deciding at-bat between her and Paige Cook on deck.
Part of you has to wonder as well. Clemson, they like to ride Cagle. They're confident. She typically does such a good job. I wonder if Thompson had to get warmed up in a rush.
Good check swing. Yeah, I'm sure she did. Although maybe not
So those
quite
first
as
few
quick
batters.
It was, Valerie was, like you said, didn't have her best stuff, and we saw that early. So maybe it was in the back of their mind, hey, this will be more of a split game. But you never fully expect what Mississippi State did against the reigning player of the year. Thompson knocks it down, comes home, and makes the play. Phenomenal recovery.
That's what you love to see. This one hit hard right back at the toe too. She barely has time to get her other foot down before that ball's back at her glove, and the ability to bobble it, pick it up, and still have the mindset to go, okay, let me just get it right to my catcher. Let me take my time. Saves another run there, but Mississippi State, they're still knocking.
That was just a
Bases
huge
loaded
swing
here.
of momentum. That ball was in her glove for a second, and if it stays there, Millie Thompson turns two. This inning's over. Bases loaded, lifted right up. That one doesn't stay home. Just out of the reach of Millie Thompson, and Paige Cook does the job.
And I think we saw that one. You heard Thompson call for that ball, but I think more, she's close enough. That's her ball. Not just for a pitcher, but for anybody in that position to be able to go straight back over their head. That's a hard catch to make. And if you're coming in, it's a lot easier to see where that ball is, to be sure of your footing. It's an easier catch no matter which way you phrase it, for more to call off Thompson on that one.
Now batting. Catcher number 22.
Let's Jesse Blaine come hit with the bases juiced. Thompson, one strike away.
And you gotta love that response. Reached up, missed it, runs came across, she bounced back up quick, 0-2. Love to see the competitiveness from her.
Thompson comes home, and it's spoiled by Jesse Blaine. This is who the Bulldogs want at the plate right now. Just about perfect on the year with runners in scoring position.
even with this big-time situation, you can see Blaine looks really comfortable in the box right now.
Out in front. Thompson strands, the bases loaded. But Paige Cook put one just outside her glove and got a little more insurance for the Dogs. Some Gamecock fans hanging out. They're up next. USC and UC Davis coming up in a beat. Beg your pardon, that was Wesley there in that last at bat. She strikes out. Thompson fired up. And we've got ourselves a 4-run game.
Number 4, Riley Hall.
Riley Hall over to first base.
The way Thompson exited the circle after she got that K, man. If you're Clemson and you see your pitcher get a huge strikeout with bases loaded, and she is fired up coming off that field, you're sprinting off the field right behind her, fired up to go get in that box. You're ready to make something happen. I love that response from her.
Second base, 28, Maddie Moore.
Sets up Maddie Moore. And fired in. Just missing. Sky high towards the fence. Took a few little adjustments and weird wind angles out there, but no problem. Bradley's got the first out.
First, it looked like it might just be easy peasy right to her, but then we saw a couple of extra steps going on.
Leo Longaleo watching ball one. Wesley's longest stint this year was 6 innings. Try and match that right here. She's gone complete game before, so that's certainly in the cards, especially if she remains this effective. Nothing but filth out of the hand of Aspen Wesley.
Corey, I love that you bring that up because last inning we saw Clemson get a couple of hard hits within a couple of batters to each other, but she ended the bottom of the 5th with a K, and now the first out of the inning, or excuse me, first K of the inning is to the second batter.
A ride into foul territory.
Right fielder number 5, Lindsay Garcia.
Aspen Wesley very clearly on the same page with Coach T. Paramount McKinley, the new pitching coach for Mississippi State. The Dogs continue to see the dividends of their hire from Ole Miss. Garcia hits it hard up the middle. Tigers hope for a little 2-out cooking.
Started around this time last time up to bat, a couple batters more, and they'll be right back where they started, where they had those hard hits, where they had those bunts, where they got those runs across the board.
Number 4, Abby Vieira.
Vieira is 2 for 2. Came around to score one of those 2 unearned runs on the line of Aspen Wesley in the 5th.
She's been getting that low and in pitch a lot during her at-bats. Those are hard pitches to handle. I bet she was able to drive that through the 3-4 hole. But you know what they say, never stay in one spot too long. Keep it moving.
Right.
Especially with Wesley, this is her 3rd time through the lineup. They've become familiar, they've made adjustments, they come in with little different game plans this time around.
Got Vieira for the first time in the game. Aspen Wesley sending a message. These Bulldogs, they can pitch.
Log into your social media accounts and join in on the conversation about your favorite team here at PB College Challenge. Give the fans back home a real-time perspective about today's game. Use the hashtag PB College Challenge. For the latest tournament news, notes, photos, and information, follow the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge on Facebook and Twitter. 20 at Puerto. Roundley.
Fired in for a strike. Juana Brownlee. Interesting to see Clemson utilize their third pitcher of the game. Maybe Coach Rittman and his staff thinking, hey, the Bulldogs were seeing Millie Thompson pretty well. Let's just go ahead and make that switch. And so far, so correct.
I just think Cagle and Thompson had a similar speed, maybe a couple miles an hour difference, but similar speed, similar angles on their plane where they release the ball, where that ball ends up with that drop ball and that flat pitch. I think bringing in Spencer, you get the change of speed, but you just get a different look. I wouldn't categorize her as the same as the other pitchers. You're going to see more arm side movement from her. Maybe a little bit more up in the zone as well.
Easy play. Longoleo's had to work hard. That one's routine. 2 very quick outs for Spencer.
Now batting number 4, Riley Hull.
Riley Hull getting her first AB. Watching a screw for ball 1. This was Madison Kennedy's spot in the lineup. Right now, she sits with a double home run and 3 RBI. But it's important to get players reps this time of year, especially against quality pitching, and Reagan Spencer certainly is that. And so we see Riley Hull. Far from a youngster or a newcomer in this state lineup. Their leader in walks and one of the best at the base on balls in the entire SEC a year ago.
And I mean, her coach was a pretty good hitter. Pretty good player as well. Being able to have that moment where you have that experience, you can draw on it from, like you said, last year being one of the best. But knowing at any moment that pitch that you've been hunting for, that pitch that you've been looking to chase these pitchers out of the game so you could get to Spencer, so you can get this pitcher. Any moment that pitch that you want from Spencer could come across, and whenever it does, you want to be ready for it. You want to be ready to attack.
The Ricketts name synonymous with great hitting, specifically in Norman, Oklahoma. Coach Sam Ricketts had a great career, and her sister Leilani, a Team USA superstar. 2-2. And on the hands, that gets by Moore.
See Moore on this one. It just rolls right up her arm. I think she closes her glove just a tad too early, right before that ball goes in. You can tell she's a little frustrated with herself. Team down 6-2.
Gets another chance and makes good. How's that for bouncing back after an error? Laying out, closing down the frame. Tigers need 4 in the bottom half. Defense, pitcher's best friend. South Carolina Gamecocks waiting their turn. They will take on the Aggies. Clemson will bring 9-1-2 to the dish here.
I'll tell you what, I've been really impressed with Mississippi State this game.
No doubt.
From their pitching to their offense to their defense, they've been really solid on defense. One misthrow, one miscue, but for the most part, there's been moments where they could have panicked and thrown the ball away, and it's only happened once.
And now as Aspen Wesley goes for her first complete game of the year, she has an 0-2 count against the freshman Johnson.
Wesley start to go away from that changeup and more to that screwball, in on the hands, tight, tight, tight.
Starts it with a strikeout. What a show from Aspen Wesley.
What a better way to start the bottom of the seventh and to get that big K, big swing and miss. And we've seen her elevate and evolve and continue to move her pitches around.
She's again ahead in the count against Mackenzie Clark.
Make no mistake, this Clemson offense, they're good. They have a good group of hitters. And so you have to be constantly one step ahead, two steps ahead of them.
Clark drives it to right. Cook retreating. Mackenzie Clark has her second home run of the tournament. Can the Tigers get back in it in the bottom of the seventh?
Clark looked like she was just a little too late on that inside pitch, the one before, but the next pitch on that outer half, she goes down. This is a low and outside pitch and just completely demolishes that. Able to get full extension, staying in those legs. That's the pitch that she has been wanting this game. Man, that's got to feel sweet.
Tigers not done yet. Clark's got 2 base knocks in a row. Here's Alex Brown. Foul ball. And now you know there's a conversation in that dugout. Coach Mo McKinney, Coach Ricketts deciding just how long they will let Aspen go. Obviously, one pitch, not changing their decision because she's still in there. And those are 2 experts in pitching.
Done a great job. I would let her ride this game out. She has a feel for these hitters. She knows what they're looking for. She's seen their adjustments. I like the way she looks on the mound right now. Even with that one home run.
Yeah, I imagine Coach T will always lean towards leave your starter in there because she got to throw forever under Mike Andrea. And Coach Ricketts, having seen Leilani and Stephanie, also probably thinking something similar. Lifted. into center. It's Sacco's Mississippi State, 1 out away from 7-0.
And man, Mississippi State, they just need one more out. This would be a massive win, not just to get that win over Clemson, but like you said, they were snubbed a little bit last year, not getting picked for the tournament. What a way to make a statement. Hey, 2024, here we are. This is our year. This is our time.
National Player of the Year stands between them and a continued undefeated start. But right now, Cagle is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Turns on that one, sends it into right. Cook, the diving grab. Mississippi State has their upset. And the Bulldogs announced to the softball world, thanks for leaving us out. We're back now.
That's the way to end that game. Mississippi State, they had the offense, they had the pitching, and yeah, they had the defense, as you just saw on that last diving play by Cook. An absolute domination on all three aspects of the game. You love to see it from this team. You love to see them come out with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but the consistency in scoring runs, the consistency and having discipline at the plate, I think is ultimately what pushed them over the edge. I love their performance today. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they go forward from today, from this game. Can they maintain it? Can they continue this on in the future? Man, what a catch here.
Mississippi State, wow. Laying out to end it. The Bulldogs are not done today. They will go again at 7 Central, taking on Utah. Clemson heads home. Tigers still plenty to look forward to this season. For now, we step aside and we will go to a different SEC team. It's the Gamecocks of South Carolina taking on the Aggies in their second game here in Puerto Vallarta. But for now, it is the Bulldogs of Mississippi State continuing the 2024 Revenge Tour. For Nicole Mendez and our entire crew in Puerto Vallarta, I'm Corey Brooks. This has been a presentation of Flow Sports and Triple Crown. We'll see you in about half an hour. Gamecocks, Aggies, coming up next. We're finally playing softball at Nancy Almaraz Field.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good stuff. That was fun.
Thank you.
Do it again in half an hour.
Thank you, guys.
Talk to you guys in like 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
the game starts for 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.